Hello and welcome to this gentle evening flow. I'm so glad that you are here. You will need a headstand prop for this flow or just something that sits a little bit higher like an ottoman or a short stool. This is actually about a 15-minute practice, so really great for just a brief amount of movement during your day if you sit a lot, or something before you go to bed, just a gentle evening flow. If you have any candles, feel free to light them. If you want to bring any props or a blanket for final shavasana, I just invite you to do that. I am going to have the first one be instructional, and then we're going to go through it again. You don't have to, but it would be just more of a flow where you would just follow me without my words. So whichever one you choose to practice today, or both of them, thank you for being here. And I hope that you just get so much out of this gentle evening flow where you get things moving, but you also find some rest. Thanks for being here. You can find yourself in a child's pose. Knees can be together, they can be apart. You can play with what feels good, maybe scooting back from the bench. Letting your heart melt down towards the earth. We're going to set our intention for our practice here tonight. Coming into our first downward facing dog, just simply warming up here. I'm just placing one foot a little bit closer, rounding up my spine, rounding down my spine, feeling the backs of the legs coming to the balls of the feet on the exchange, and coming back down, just really feeling this in your core, the entire spine, and the entire back of the legs. So today I'm just your tour guide. We're going to come back to our downward facing dog, and that just means that I'm just here leading you, and you just do what feels comfortable. Flowing from a downward facing dog into a high plank, rolling through the spine, placing your left foot midline and your right leg high, and switching sides. Just kind of shaking out that leg or doing whatever feels good and returning to your downward facing dog to do it. Once again, maybe opening the hip this time, maybe a gentle kick, and switching sides. Just finding some openness. Coming to a wide leg downward facing dog, rolling through that spine, really hollowing out the belly as we roll into almost a high plank with the shoulders above the wrist, coming to the balls of the feet, sinking down to the heels. Again, just really gentle here. Coming into a revolved downward facing dog here, grabbing for that opposite ankle or at least towards it, and then switching sides. So many benefits here in an inverted one arm balanced downward facing dog. And just flowing. Begin to just move, no rules. Downward facing dog to revolve down dog, bending the knees just as much as you need to here. Find your breath. Find your center. Rolling through downward facing dog, and now coming into that plank chaturanga. Down dog, roll through the spine, chaturanga, back to down dog. Notice I'm like an ocean wave, really hollowing out the belly, really coming to that high plank. Breathing, letting your breath move you. Letting your heels sink, letting your belly hollow, and this time coming to an upward facing dog, just really dropping the pelvis here, but not too much. You'll feel a nice stretch in the hip flexor. Still keeping the roll through the spine, strong in the arms, and returning to that three-legged dog with the right leg high. Let your heart melt down, maybe find a forward fold, a nice hinge, rotating back ankle or knee, whatever feels best there. We're gonna bring that right leg in between that headstand prop. If you have a stool, obviously we won't be inverting you today, but if you have a headstand prop, you can drop the leg and come into low lunge, or keep the leg high, in which you would want that back hamstring really lifting towards the sky. Opening hip flexor, so as lifting your arms if that's available to you today, keeping one arm on your prop, whatever feels best here. You're breathing and not taking anything too seriously. I'm finding a hinge here and taking this into a revolved posture. You can keep looking down at the earth, you can look forward, or you can look at the hand. It makes no difference. Just find some expansiveness in your chest here. Returning back to your lunge, low or crescent. And then we're going to actually take that back to that three-legged dog. Really point here, really reach long three-legged dog back to your downward facing dog. Roll through the spine, upward facing dog. Back to your down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Bringing it into your crescent or your low lunge. Breathe here, opening that core, especially if you sit for long hours. Coming into that revolved crescent, you can keep the knee on the earth or lift it. And just looking where your neck is happy. Now remember, if you lift it, that hamstring is energetically lifting towards the sky. Think openness here. We're going to come back and really lengthen through that three-legged dog. I know that's beautiful. I know you're doing a good job here, and I know you're breathing and not taking yourself too serious. Coming back into our revolved downward facing dog. Just finding a flow here. No hurry whatsoever. Breathing, coming to dangle, maybe grab for opposite elbows here, swaying, keeping thighs facing forward, bending knees as much as you need to, release, and gently stepping a little bit closer to the prop. Now I have a headstand prop that has a crossbar, so I'm really getting a beautiful calf stretch here, maybe bending opposite knee. It's really whatever feels good to you. You can stay on your hands and lengthen the spine if that feels better to you. You can take your nose to your knee. We're going to simply switch sides here, really getting a beautiful calf stretch, hamstring stretch, and releasing head if that feels good, or like I said, coming up halfway might feel better. But you're breathing and you're releasing. And what more can you surrender here? One last breath. And gently releasing both feet, and you can take the toes up and release a little bit further. If you have a headstand prop, I'm going to invite you to practice your mild inversion here, bending the knees as deep as you need them, or in a pretty close downward facing dog. Coming through the entire feet, so the heel to the toes, really peeling them each off the earth, walking them close, just saying hello or good evening to the entire backside body. Lifting one leg. We're going to come to a really neutral floating pelvic bone. So wherever you are here, just finding a place of ease and rest. So you're resting that pelvic bone, nothing too serious in our inversion. Now I am just kind of hanging out, taking knees to elbow, finding a neutral place, playing around what feels good to me. So I just invite you, if a full inversion is in your practice, go ahead and do that. Now the headstand prop is wonderful because it pulls the shoulders away from the cranium. And again, I'm just sort of hanging out, playing. I'm deepening this stretch into my hip flexors and psoas. Between travel and writing, I do sit a lot, so I just take these moments of movement, taking the knees very bent, rotating ankles, just playing. No rules here. Knees come to elbow, coming back into an inversion of some sort, and maybe doing something different here. I'm in an inverted splits, just saying hello to every part of my lower half. And make sure you do whatever you do on the other side. I'm switching split sides, flexing, pointing feet. Make sure you do that on the other side. Now here I'm really pressing my hands into the prop. So I still have the technicalities of an inversion without the prop. I invite you to take a pigeon leg form and maybe take knee to elbow, pressing. I'm really flexing that lengthened leg up to the ceiling, working my core here, working on just being inverted for a longer period of time, and switching sides to that pigeon form, bringing knees down towards my elbows and really flexing opposite foot and pressing up towards the sky. A lot going on here. Breath continues, finding your breath, coming back to your intention, and just having fun. When you come down, ever so gently come down, using your core strength to do so instead of momentum, really still building that strength, giving me my arms a rest, coming into a nice shoulder rinse here, and just breathe. This is whatever you want it to be. Bent knees are just fine. Let the prop do all the work here. If you don't have a headstand prop, you're in a dangle or downward facing dog or just a forward fold doing that shoulder rinse. I'm going to ever so gently release my head, coming out of the inversion and just releasing the back of the legs a little bit further with a classic hamstring stretch here, toes pointing towards the heavens, rounding spine, lengthening spine. And coming to the other side, the padded version of my headstand prop, and finding a nice seated position, nice tall spine, couple pranayamas here, opening chest, inhaling, rotating shoulders, exhaling, finding that length, finding that breath. At any time you need to come back to intention or why you joined me here tonight, do so. Hands to heart center, which is always a great time to come back to your intention. We're going to come into some tricep dips, and this can be as intense or as mild as you'd like it to be. Nothing too strenuous here. Challenge yourself without hurting yourself. I'm taking small dips here, but you can go all the way down to the earth. Keeping elbows towards the back wall as opposed to letting them come out to the sides as they want to do. You're finding an inhale and an exhale on the push-up. Inhale, dropping down gently. Exhale, press up. Inhale, dropping. Exhale, press. Coming back to your seated posture. Opening, inhaling, giving your arms a nice stretch, your triceps. Bring that arm back ever so gently. Maybe pressing skull into the forearms, and really opening up the armpits and stretching the triceps. You can stay there as long as you wish. We're going to come back down and fatigue those triceps by doing either small dips or large dips, maybe lengthening the legs this time or lengthening one at a time. Remember, the inhale drops the hips and the exhale really presses through those muscles. You can do this. You've got this. We just have a few more. Challenge yourself here. Really dip, really press, and find your way back to seated posture. Nice job. I know you're breathing. I know your heart rate's up. Again, stretching those triceps, opening the heart and the armpits. Maybe taking a little twist. That feels so yummy. Pressing head back. You want to keep that nice lengthened spine, even if you're doing the twist. Nice job. We're getting a full body gentle workout tonight. Coming back to a seated posture on your prop, we are going to come into an assisted wheel. You can keep your knees bent, you can straighten them, that's totally up to you. Again, try to keep the elbows towards the back as opposed to coming out to the side. I'm finding a full length here. Grabbing a block, placing it under your head if that feels better. Remember, doing what feels good to you. If bending knees takes pressure off your lumbar, do that. And I'm gently releasing releasing further, maybe into a dangle or a sway, whatever feels good to you. Beautiful job. Now I'm finding my way back to a child's pose. This time I'm switching it up. So if you had your knees together, maybe separate or vice versa, and finding a little twist, I'm simply resting my head on the prop, opening my heart. You don't have to lift the arm, and switching sides. So this is a really nice side body stretch, getting into those places that we often forget about. Pressing hips back here, keeping the spine nice and long. Remember, you can open up the chest and shoulder a little bit more by extending the hand. Ever so gently releasing that. I'm just turning mine around. If you have an ottoman, you probably don't need to do that. So finding a comfortable posture here, we're going to come into one of my favorite postures. If you have a blanket, go ahead and grab that, or a sweatshirt. We're going to give your legs a nice release here. Our feet and legs do so much for us on a daily basis, and here we're just going to thank them. I'm getting really comfortable here. I invite you to do the same. Opening your heart, so have a nice big bolster under there. A sofa pillow works just fine. Something larger to really open your heart. Find some rest here. Coming back to that intention, I'm hoping you fulfilled it. Coming back to a prayer, dedicating this time to somebody, but really allowing yourself to enjoy this rest. Taking both hands onto that beautiful open heart. Living with an open heart is the way to live. So I just hope that if you've had a broken or jaded heart, that right now it's being opened once again. Extending hands high. Opening the heart, reminding yourself to live that way. Bringing palms back together. Bringing the palms to your lips. May your words be edifying. To your forehead. May your thoughts be edifying. May the things that you see and watch be edifying. Hands come back down to heart center. May you be blessed. Blessings and namaste.
Breathe. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Sometimes it's hard to breathe. All these thoughts that shout at me, try to bring me to my knees. Feels like everything is crashing down. Still I know where my hope is found, and it's only you and ooh. You say you're working everything for my good, and ooh, I believe every word. And in the madness, there's peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you are writing a symphony, a symphony. And even in the madness, there's peace, drowning out the voices all around me. Through all of this chaos, you are writing a symphony, a symphony. Even when I cannot see, you are moving. Even when I cannot hear, you are singing over me. Even when I can't hold on, you won't let me go. You are faithful. You are faithful. Hallelujah. My soul will sing hallelujah. You are good to me. You are faithful, always faithful. Even when my faith is tried, you're providing. Even though my flesh may fail, you're the strength when I am weak. Even when I run away, you will wait for me to come back home. Oh, I'm coming home. Hallelujah. My soul will sing hallelujah. You are good to me. You are faithful, always faithful. Everything I wanted, everything I needed is found in you, God. Everything I wanted, everything I needed. I am here to surrender to the dark and to the light. I am here to lay down my What do you feel in your soul?
extending hands high, opening the heart, reminding yourself to live that way. Bringing palms back together, bringing the palms to your lips. May your words be edifying. To your forehead, may your thoughts be edifying. May the things that you see and watch be edifying. Hands come back down to heart center. May you be blessed. Blessings and namaste.